It's Ashley from Creative Chaos. I apologize because I look like a complete mess. We just woke up. Well, actually, I've been up for a little while, but we woke up at really early this morning. For some reason, they just woke up. So we're getting started with our morning, and we are eating our breakfast and getting started, and we're about to get started on our homeschooling lessons, but I know that I have been talking to you guys about putting a video up about homeschooling, so I wanted to go ahead and get that up before we dig in and start using all of these resources so I can kind of show them to you. I have no makeup on. I'm coming to you all natural, just out of the bed, so I'm sorry for that, but and you're gonna hear my kiddos in the background just because we're just getting started with our day. Hold on, just one second. Okay, sorry. So I might have to pause this 1,000 times. But like I said, if you are watching this video about homeschooling, then hopefully you have kiddos, so maybe you'll understand a little bit about hearing some background noise. You're probably used to it and tuned it out by now. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Like this video if you like it. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you want to see more of. Especially how this stuff goes with all the homeschooling videos I'm going to be putting up. This is going to be kind of just a video about the actual themes that I put together for homeschooling. I'm not going to be able to go over our schedule and, how I schedule everything out. I'm not going to be able to give you kind of a full, the full scope of everything that we do, just because you guys can already tell if you watch my videos, I'm a talker, and we would be here for hours because there's just so much information that I have for you guys. So I'm going to do it in a few different videos, and I'm going to let you guys know, just more and more information as the videos go on. Sorry if I go out of camera. I'm trying to keep him quiet with snacks. Okay, so October is a farm theme. You guys have heard me talk about it millions of times. I talk about it in all my videos because I try to constantly haul things that go along with that theme so that, I can just get more and more resources for that. With that being said, what I do each month, and guys, I'm kind of new to this. We haven't been homeschooling very, very long, just a few months really. I started planning before we started homeschooling to kind of get ideas, and is this something I really even want to do? Like, what kind of resources are available to me? All of that kind of stuff. So if you're thinking about homeschooling, or if you've been homeschooling for a while, then I hope that you can glean some things from my videos. But if you are a vet in homeschooling, then you probably know so much more than I do. So I'm hoping that we can share ideas and get information from each other, because that's just, that's what social networking is all about. So that's just why YouTube is such a great resource. I'm sorry that it's so dim in here and I can see it like getting lighter and darker, but I don't want to open the blinds too much because, well, you know what? I don't know. Okay, that's much better. Unfortunately, you can see me better, so that's not really so great for me right now, but it's okay. I didn't want to open them too much because my neighbors can see how crazy I am shooting this video, but I don't care. It's fine. So anyways, what I do is each month, and I try to do this a month in advance. I try to do this as much as possible a month in advance. A month gives you time. It doesn't give you plenty of time. It gives you time for all the craziness, for anything that comes up, for your normal schedule, everything that you're doing that takes time. I mean, moms, we're busy, okay? So we need to allow ourselves time for everything in life that always comes up to come up, and for us to have time to, still do what we want to do. The longer that you give yourself to plan, the better. Your kiddos are going to know if you're unprepared, and that's going to make, the more confident you are because you feel prepared and you are prepared and you know what you're doing, you've got a plan, that helps them feel comfortable to learn. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your lessons and when you're doing your things. If you rush and do it last minute, they're going to feel that. You're going to be stressed. You're not going to feel confident. They're going to feel that pressure, and it's going to help them it's going to hinder them, from learning. It's going to help them the more prepared that you are. So with all of that being said, I've blabbered on for 5 minutes, not showing you anything, but I wanted to kind of give you a foundation for, what I'm going to be showing you guys and kind of what I do. So I'm just going to give you a small little bitty overview. I use this to plan. This is from the Target dollar spot, you guys. I think it was only $3, so it wasn't even the $5 price point. It was $3. They also have a grade book that is a really great resource. My little guy is 4 that I'm homeschooling right now. His name is Tristan. He is he's not old enough for me to really grade and use a grade book. I did pick one up just because I thought it was so cool. Yes, I said your name. I said your name. Okay, so hold on just 1 second. So he's not really old enough for me to put that to good use. So I did buy one just because I thought it was super cool, and I was scared that I wouldn't find one when the time did come. But I did get this lesson plan book, and I use this every single time. Okay, so I use this lesson plan book. Now, in this book, I don't know if you guys have seen all of this. It has this kind of stuff, which you're not really going to use in a homeschool setting as much. Your room number and all that, which is a great resource for, regular public school or private school teaching, mainstream teaching. It's good. It has all of this information that you can put for each student and all of that kind of stuff. But if you skip to the stuff, it gives you all these dates that are good to remember, all the holidays and all the kind of stuff goes on and all of that kind of stuff. It gives you a lot of different, information for your substitute teacher and all this kind of stuff. But if you go all the way, if you flip back a little bit, it gives you these pages, and this is where it gets good for us homeschool moms, okay? It gives you these sheets, and it says long-range planning, okay? And on this long-range planning, it has all of the months of the year, okay? This is where I just jot down some ideas. I get my theme in mind of what I want. I start putting it together. I write down everything I can think of that could possibly go with that theme. No specific order, no organization, just jotting ideas down. This is my idea board, okay? I jot down everything that I think can go along with that month, whether it's songs or what letters we're going to learn or whatever that is. I really need you to be quiet for me, okay? Really sorry, you guys. Okay, so then on the next page, it starts giving you week to week. So you get planning week to week. It gives you all these little boxes, and then on the side, it gives you just a note section where you can jot down some notes, jot down additional ideas. This is not, it's your own notebook, so it's not written in stone. If you need to change something for Thursday and you did it on Tuesday and you did, okay, just change it. It's really not that big of a deal. What I'm learning in homeschooling is that you have to be flexible, and that's really hard for me because I'm such a control freak, and I flip out when things don't go exactly the way I think it should, and that can't happen in homeschooling. Things are going to come up. You're going to have to run errands that you didn't realize you're going to have to run. The maintenance man is going to show up at your door like he did with me last week with my air conditioning, and you're going to have things that come up. So you have to be willing to be flexible. But if you're willing to be flexible, this is a good record keeper for you to, change things and write down your ideas and figure out, kind of map out your week. Okay, I'm trying to find, okay. So for October, these are just some of the examples of things that we do. Now, Tristan is only doing preschool right now, so it's not really that heavy duty, all these lessons, let's map it all out. We need to make sure he's learning this, this, and this. It's not all of that kind of thing, okay? So I'm flexible with him as well. If he's cranky and he needs a nap earlier in the day, I give him a nap earlier in the day, and then we pick up where we're left off, okay? If he is really having trouble focusing, then we don't do a worksheet right then, okay? That's the beauty of homeschooling because you are a parent. Well, maybe you're someone else, but, most of the time you're homeschooling, you're a parent. Most of the time it's not, as a mom, not all the time. So you're his mom, you're his dad, whatever the case may be, you know that child. So you know his behavior, you know all of the signs that he's giving you. So just be willing to be patient with yourself, be willing to be patient with him. So that's kind of where we go with it. Our schedule's not really written in stone for a preschooler, okay? So I give we do all different subjects. We're learning our letters, we're learning our numbers, we're learning how to identify them, we're learning how to write them, we're learning sight words, we're learning, all of these different things. I try to kind of bump it up a notch. He's learning some preschool things and some kindergarten things just because I know that he can. Because once again, I'm his mom, I know him, I know how much he can learn. I don't put it more on him than he's comfortable with. But I do challenge him. And that's just part of it. That's part of me being his mom and knowing him and knowing his limitations. Strengths, weaknesses, all of that. So that's some of the positives that I see in homeschooling. Just because I know him better than anybody else could possibly know him. So with that being said, I'm talking again. I'm babbling. I'm so sorry, you guys, if that gets on your nerves, I'm sorry. But I have all the letters we're going to learn. I have all of the kind of things. I put in here each worksheet from day to day. This is, the monthly was just my jotting down ideas. This is more, okay, let's actually map it out. Okay, so with all of that being said, that's kind of how I get started. I'll do a more detailed video of this where I babble on and on about it, and I really break it down for you guys and show you all the things that you can do to really plan out your week and your days. And that way, you guys don't have to listen to a whole spiel about it. We can just get down to the actual theme for October. So for October, it is a farm theme. I've been gathering things here and there. I have a lot of it to show you guys. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, sorry. So for each theme, what I try to do is we're going to learn our lessons. There's going to be workbooks that have nothing to do with this theme. So I'm going to have workbooks from letters, workbooks from numbers, and all of that don't have anything to do with the farm. But for the most part, I incorporate the farm theme in every single subject that we learn. So I get worksheets from offline. Sometimes I get lucky and I find a workbook that has to do with that theme, and I use stuff from that. Anything that I can stick in there that has to do with that theme to reiterate what we're learning about, that's what I do. So for the theme, we actually learn about a farm. We learn what's on a farm, what kind of animals are on a farm, all of that kind of thing. And then we also do our regular everyday lessons that we do on a normal. Here we go. Okay, so I got this from the Dollar Tree. If you saw my Dollar Tree haul, you saw when I hauled this. This is just sparkle art. So it gives you the markers, it gives you art, and then all of this is glittered. It's really pretty. And this is just for him to play. He, colors it and does art. This is when, we might not do a theme craft because that's something that we incorporate every day, is a theme craft. So we do a craft with our theme. Now, this month we'll be doing, and I'll show you guys this as he does it. I'll do a video where I kind of show you all the crafts that we completed. I might do it weekly. But we'll do we'll make a sheep. It'll be out of a paper plate, cotton balls, little crafts that I get, craft supplies I get from the Dollar Tree. With the foam, I'll cut out, a mouth with the foam and the googly eyes and the cotton balls and the, all of that kind of stuff. If you don't know about the Dollar Tree and you're a homeschooler, a homeschooling parent, please just pop on in there. If you have a Dollar Tree around you, please go there. Just look around. There's just so many resources, workbooks, books, craft supplies out the yin yang. I mean, there's just so many things that you can glean, and grab and really bulk up your supply for your homeschooling. So that'll be for art. Then I also have these farm stencils. I'll probably have to help him a little with this, but he loves to draw. He's really getting into it. I craft a lot, and he always wants to craft with me. He's wanting to cut. He's wanting to glue. He's wanting to color. He's wanting to do all the things that I'm doing. And so, that helps him have something to do as well. Now, being a homeschooler, it allows me to be with my child all the time, so it's not just during school hours. So sometimes, when I'm crafting and he's wanting to craft, I pull out this because it's reiterating what we learned that day. Here's the theme again in case just to refresh your memory, get you ready for tomorrow's lesson. And I pull out things like this just to kind of push that into his head. This is this, and this is this, whatever the case may be, whether it's drawing or whatever. So I put that back into his brain as much as possible. I got these erasers. Now, I don't know if you can see this if it shows up on camera, but this is actually in the form of a puzzle. So he can take this apart, put it together as a puzzle, and you can use it as erasers. Now, of course, when you use it as an eraser, it's going to take the picture away and it's going to start disappearing. So it is a puzzle, though, and it's really thick, so I thought it was super cute. So that'll just be something that we do in our downtime, in between. I don't just throw so many worksheets at him because he's only 4. They get bogged down, they get tired of doing it, and then they don't want to learn anymore. And learning always should be fun. If you teach them that learning's fun from the very beginning, they'll want to learn. It'll be something they look forward to. So that's what I try to do with him. So we just do little things like this for when he's getting tired of worksheets. He's getting tired of this. He doesn't really want to do a craft. I can't really, this is just kind of to hone his attention in on what we're trying to do. Okay, so there's that. Books. So I pick up any books I possibly can on the theme. This is a book about, it's called Mighty Movers Farm, and they have this on a lot of different things. Mighty Movers, I can't remember, cars, Mighty Movers trucks. They have like a lot of different themes. And so I try to grab any books that I see about a farm. I don't care what it is. This is for him, for me to read to him, and then I put it in a reading center, and it has a lot of themed books, whether it's farm animals or whatever it is, anything that can pertain to the farm, whether it's about different foods that are on a farm, whatever stories that I feel like go along with that theme at all, I put in that reading center, and I read them to him, and he can look at them. So in our downtime, in our playtime, when we're doing our center time, and he can go to different places and pick whichever one he wants to do, I put these in there for him to look at after we read them, so he can be familiar with what's going on. We're going to be doing The Little Red Hen. It's a really, really good book. It has a good message in it. I always try to incorporate things like that, things that can teach him. This says a tale about cooperation, and it is. If you don't know The Little Red Hen, moms, you should read The Little Red Hen, okay? We need to know these basic stories because our kids are growing up and they don't know any of these fairy tales and stories and nursery rhymes that we knew as kids. So I put that in there, okay? These guys, I get stuff like this off of the internet. I do use online as a tool. And I did them in my handy dandy laminator, and it's a game. Let's see, it's a matching game. So you match the baby with his or her mama or daddy, and that's it's a matching game. So you're teaching them babies and adults that they go together. See, here's the baby donkey, and here's the mama donkey. Okay, so I'll match these together. And I mean, it does get a little more complicated in some of them because, a baby chicken doesn't look like a mama chicken. So he'll match those together. So it's a matching game. I laminated them. I colored them myself. I mean, you can print them out in color, but I try to not waste ink if I don't have to. Why not just color myself? Sometimes I let him color them. We color the pictures together, and then I laminate them, and then there's our game. And he knew that he colored it. He knew that he helped Mama color it. He knew Mama colored it for him, and he wants to play the game. Things like that, okay? So I make my own things. I get all the resources I can find, and I make my own is just, you know, anything that I can possibly reiterate that theme, that's what I do. Okay. Sensory bins. If you don't know about sensory bins, Pinterest it. You will get millions of results, and they are all really, really good ideas. It's full of good ideas from a lot of different people teaching you about sensory bins, what they're for, what kind of skills that they help your child with. But it helps with fine motor skills. It helps with creativity. It helps with so many different things. So if you don't know about those, definitely look those up. And this sensory bin, we'll be doing at least 2 sensory bins this month, but this is one I've already made up, so I wanted to show it to you. This is what it looks like. So I put it in one of these little shoebox bins from the Dollar Tree. I got some of that Jiffy popcorn, put it in here. That's the corn. And then I got one of these straw bales from the Dollar Tree. It goes in here. All of these little farm animals came from the Dollar Tree. I got a pack of horses, and I got a few packs of the farm animals, okay? So I just stick them all in here. And my little one is trying to grab anything he possibly can because he's like, I want to play. I want to play. I stuck all the animals in here, and you can kind of see it. I don't want to dump it all out on you. But I stuck all these farm animals in here. Some of them I buried. I mean, I have like little farm eraser guys. These I got from the Dollar Tree. This I got from the Dollar Tree. It's one of these. So I use little tools like this. I got this set from the Dollar Tree. It has all these little tools in it, like the shovel and this little guy. And if we're using a sensory bin with like sand or anything like that, then this little guy comes in handy. Now, of course, the popcorn is not small enough to go through the sifter, but we use that. These little tongs I got from the Dollar Tree. They're really nice and big, so they're good for his hands. You know, he's getting good at doing things with, you know, his fine motor skills are getting better and better, so he's being precise and doing good with all of his precision. And I got a few packs of these. It comes with all these different farm animals, you know, the goat, the sheepdog, the horses, all of that kind of stuff. I stick all of these in here. He can make a scene with them. He can dig around and look at all the animals. I got this from the Dollar Tree as well. They're little ice cream cups. That's what they're for. They come with spoons. But I put them in his sensory bin. So he gets these bowls out. He can use his tongs. He picks up the animals with the tongs and he sorts them in these bowls. So how many horses do I have? Let's put all the horses in the bowl. Let's put the pigs in one bowl and the horses in another bowl and the goats in another bowl. And I think this comes with 4. And sort them all out. How many brown ones do I have? How many white ones? All of these kind of things. Like, it's endless, and it just comes in this little bitty thing. And because it's so cool and it has a lot of stuff in it for him to go through and he's digging in it, it's so much fun, but he is learning no matter what he chooses to do with it. I guide him, of course, and say, okay, well, let's do this now. Let's sort this now. But I just let him go at it, and he plays with all these different tools and all these different things, and he's learning so much with just this little bin, okay? I have little, and I don't see any right now. I'm trying to dig them out. I don't see any, but I have all these little foam shapes. I get those little foam sheets from the Dollar Tree, and I had some around me, and now I don't know where they went, but they're these little rectangular, and they're like this big. They're made out of foam. They're foam sheets. They're really thin, so you can cut them with scissors really easily. I made vegetable shapes out of them. I drew the vegetable on there. I cut it out. It's little tiny shapes. I put them all in here so that he can find them with the tongs and dig them out and take them out and put them in the bowls. We're also, along with the farm theme, we're learning nutrition. So what foods are good for us that come from a farm? How do we get these foods? What foods are bad for us? What foods are natural that grow out of the ground or on the trees? These are good food versus bad food. I have that kind of stuff. So all of these good foods are in here for him to learn. You know, this comes from the farm. This is where we get it. This is good food for us. All of that. So that's all in this little bitty bin. So it's amazing. Okay. I'm trying not to keep this video too long. I know I've been talking on, and most of it's because this is the very first one, so it's a lot of information to kind of introduce to you guys. But the last thing I want to show you, I do want to say, I'll add things as we go along. So whether I find another game, I'm still looking for this month, even though I'm planning for next month. So anything I can possibly add to this month, I might throw it in and throw it in next week or throw it in the week after or whatever. This is not all we do all day, so we still have all of these different things. I use YouTube videos. I follow a few different kid channels so that we watch different videos on that, on his letters and his numbers and Sesame Street and all of these different TV shows that we watch. Also for the farm theme, we watch 2 movies a week, sometimes only 1. It depends on how much I have going on for that week for us. But as far as the farm theme goes, Babe, Charlotte's Web, you know, all of these different kind of movies. There's tons of them for you to put in there and watch. I add those to his curriculum as well. We'll watch those. Let's see, Rock-a-Doodle. Let's see if you guys know that movie. Nobody knows about that movie anymore. It's hard to find, but it's really, really cute. There's a lot of different farm movies that you can watch, and it just teaches them about, you know, about farm animals, about the farm theme, but it's fun. You can cuddle with them. You can do at lunchtime, pop that movie in, watch it, talk about what's going on. You can break it up so you're not just sitting in front of the TV for that long. Break it up, watch half of it one day, half of it the next day, whatever. That's a good thing to do, to put things like that in. Also, let me think. Songs. We do songs. We have time for songs. I got this from the Dollar Tree. It's about farm animals. It comes with a CD, you guys. Comes with the CD, comes with the book, so it has the story that teaches you all about the different animals. It has a CD that comes with it with all the animal songs. It's amazing. This has, let's see how many songs it has. It has 12 in it, okay? So it comes with all of these different things that you can do with it. It also has activity pages that you can download from your computer. You can print them out. It goes with the theme. I mean, how easy is that, you guys? For $1, you get all of that. You get the book and the music and the activity pages, so they can do worksheets that have to do with that theme. I have printed out tons of worksheets for the farm theme, but I'm not going to show those to you guys. Just know that you can look them up online. You can get them from resources like that. They're not that difficult to come by. So that goes along with the theme. We also do nursery rhymes. Baa Black Sheep. There's a lot of Mary Had a Little Lamb. We do that. We do fairy tales. So this month we'll be doing the 3 Little Pigs. Things like that. So there's tons of different things that you can go into with your theme. So many different ideas. This is the last thing that I'm going to show you guys before you guys get sick and tired of seeing and hearing my voice. Tristan, stop that, please. I do this for every month, you guys. This one's October. I've just started these, and I love the idea. I love it. It took me forever to make the first one, so I know that now it's going smoother. This is October. So I have on here, what kind of weather do we have? And I have all of these strips. I used Velcro from the Dollar Tree. I Velcroed them on. And this angle is like really difficult, you guys, for me to do, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm using my computer, so it's really not the best, but I have all of these different Velcro little, sorry guys, they're sick of me filming, they're ready to move on, but I do have all of this Velcroed on. These guys I laminated just so I can use them over and over for different things. On the farm, I decorated it with all these different farm animals. It has the little barn on it, all of these different things, just so he can kind of have a visual. This says what's the temperature, so we'll look up the temperature for the day. It has a little strip. This came from the Dollar Tree as well. This strip moves up and down, so I have that Velcroed on as well. This strip moves up and down so you can tell what temperature it is, and you can do it on the little thermometer. Super duper cute. On this side, it says what day of the week is it. So that's Velcroed on as well. So it says today is. I have one for every day of the week, of course, and we can change those out. Today I feel. So we talk about his feelings. How are you feeling today? What are your emotions? Why are you feeling that way? Today's letter is, so the letter of the day. And today's number, if I can get it down there, today's number is. And then we talk about different things on our farm. So what kind of things are on a farm? We have apples. And I have all of this stuff Velcroed on as well, so it all comes off. It's interchangeable. I can change all of these things from day to day, and he does all of the changing. We talk about it. We decide. I guide him, but I let him decide everything. What does it look like outside? Let's go outside and look. What's the weather feel like? What is the weather today? Do you know the day of the week? What was yesterday? So today is. Things like that. And we just do this every single day. It's his little board. He can look at it all throughout the day and remind him, and at the end of the day, we'll change the temperature again and talk about how temperature changes. Anything you can possibly add in there, anything you can add, even if you're not having a full lesson on weather and all of that weather entails and temperature, you're just putting that in there, putting those ideas in his mind to get him thinking on it, get him chewing on it, so that when you do have a full lesson about weather, he already knows some things about that because you talk about it every day. So those are just the kind of things that I try to do. This is the kind of things that I put into my themes. I'll start sharing a monthly video with you guys for all of these themes. I promise they won't be this long and obnoxious because now that I kind of tell you the foundations of everything and I start sharing some more videos of our schedule and things that we do, I won't have to do this big introduction to everything. So the videos will be shorter and a little bit more functional for you guys. But there is the first video about homeschooling. These are the themes that I put together. This is the first one I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Subscribe so you can see all of these videos I'm putting up. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you want to know. Tell me, what's helpful to you. Share some of your ideas. I want to know your ideas too. Are there things that you do that you've found work better than others? Just let me know. Leave me some comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Sorry this video was long and sorry that it was kind of loud, but there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day and happy homeschooling.